capture on this f7 pawn by his own pawn by the queen, and is also supported by the white's rook from f1. What can black do? Notice that he can't just castle. That would be the worst solution really, because white can play queen takes h7, delivering a mid-a checkmate. So instead of this, black played pawn to g6, and perhaps he felt like everything's under control, because now it seems like it forces the white's queen to go back somewhere, and after that black can finally complete his development. Let's say if white would just take here the pawn on f7 with check, like can recapture, and then on the next move he can hopefully castle, and things are more or less noble for him. But here comes the shocker. You can think about this position for a couple seconds. If you've never seen this go in the past, I'm pretty sure that you'll be amazed by the following variations. And if you know the solution, please write it down in the comments below. Interestingly enough, there are two solutions here. In the game, Tal played queen takes e5, and black was so shocked that he just resigned. He probably knew that if Tal sacrifices a queen, the best thing he can do is to resign immediately to avoid suffering for too long. Anyway, let's dive into variations just for a little bit. What could have happened is black recaptures the queen. Then white obviously takes here the pawn f7, taking the king, and here, like, the king cannot go to f8, loses immediately due to bishop h6 checkmate. Therefore, the king has to go somewhere into the d-file, something like king goes to d7, but this exposes the king to the white's rook. And here white has another really beautiful follow-up of his attack, which is bishop f5. This is a double check, and that's the whole point. Meaning, when you provide a double check, black can only move his king somewhere. There is no other way he can defend the king. He cannot, let's say, play queen d6 because it's a double check, and he only has to move the king. Now, king to c6 is forced, and white can keep chasing the king, bishop e4. And here you can already see that it's almost a checkmate. The only thing black can do to prevent the checkmate is just to start giving up all of his material. And obviously white will be winning after that, so if black goes knight d5, which is the only thing he can do, white now captures the knight, then he has to go back to d7, now white can capture the rook, and it's fairly obvious already right now that white already got rook and two bishops versus a queen, plus his f-pawn is ready to be promoted into the queen. And in addition to all that, black's king is still under a strong attack. For example, after something like king to e6, white can continue going bishop d5 check, bishop king e7, bishop g5 check, and as you can see here, it's fairly obvious that after a few moves black will lose. After, for example, something like this is just one of the lines. It's not completely forced, but it's obvious that in all the variations white is winning. And that's why the black players didn't just resign. And here's an interesting thing, that was actually an alternative combination. White could have executed a similar kind of combination, but with a slight variation. He could have started with bishop takes b5, and we'll see the point of this move in just a moment. And after black recaptures, white can now sacrifice queen in the same way, here to get into that weak pawn f7. And after black recaptures on e5, we can now take an f7. And here you can see the point of the white sacrifice of the bishop on d5. Now the white's rook controls this line, and therefore black cannot go there at all. And therefore the only move which he can do is to play king f8, and here comes bishop h6, checkmate. It's pretty cool how white sacrificed the queen in a position which black probably thought was okay for him, and it was such a shocker that black really sacrificed immediately, which is a rare thing because he still could have tried to do something, but he just sacrificed because he was probably so shocked by what happened. Hope you enjoyed the game, and once again, if you are interested in improving your chess skills, don't forget